Hello everybody, my name's Ash, and this is Craftsmanship with Ash. Recently I picked up a new knife. It is a K-bar harpoon. Let's take it out of the box and take a look at it. Right out of the box, this comes with a Kydex sheath. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how I make a leather sheath. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video to see if this is a project that you want to make. Let's get started. The first question I'm asked by somebody that's wanting to make a leather sheath is, where do I get a pattern? I'm going to take this knife and just a manila file folder, and I'm going to show you step by step how I make a sheath. To get started drawing this pattern, I'm going to take my manila folder, open it up. I'm going to lay the knife spine right along the fold of that manila folder and lay it over on the edge. And we're going to take just a number 2 pencil and trace around the knife blade and handle. Once you have the blade traced out, we're going to draw in the edge of the sheath. I'm going to take my ruler and just make 1/2 inch dots around the blade. This can also be done at 3/8. I like to do 1/2 inch because that gives me the option to trim off or sand the edge. Working with leather, you're not going to be able to add it back if you cut it too short, so adding a little extra is always a good thing. We're going to bring that up all the way to the top of the blade and then just connect the dots. The way this blade is with this, let's say, drop point, I'm going to bring the edge up and stitch on the inside. Now we're going to figure out how high we want the sheath to go. I'm going to go about halfway up the handle. And this is all now, you're just what you feel like looks good. The only thing is you don't want it to draw this in, so when you stitch this together, your blade can't slide down into the sheath. I now have the main body of the sheath drawn out. The next step is we're going to take this manila folder, fold it in half, and then I'm going to cut along the line that I just drew in. I have the body of the sheath now cut out. I'm going to now draw in the belt loop. So I'm going to take another manila folder. I'm going to lay the body of the sheath right down the center line and trace it out. You might be asking yourself, that seems like a waste of manila folders, but we'll come back to this one in a minute. I'm going to start by taking my ruler and coming in 1/4 inch from the fold to 1 3/4 inches. Then I'm going to draw a line straight up all the way to the top. This piece here will be what we'll fold down to make our belt loop. Let's go ahead, fold this over, and we're going to cut out this side. I now have the paper pattern of my sheath. This is going to be the front side, this is the back side, and this is where the belt loop's going to come down. I'll figure out how long to make this after I get it cut out of leather. I'm gonna come back to the first pattern we cut out, and I'm gonna use this as a template to get my welt. The welt is a piece of leather that's gonna run down the edge in between both sides once it's folded to protect the stitches from the knife blade cutting them once it's slid, as it's slid in and out of the sheath. So we already know where the blade's gonna go. So we're just gonna extend this up and cut right along the edge of our blade. You might have noticed where I didn't keep the 1/2 inch all the way to the top. I rolled it out, so it just gives that blade a place to run along once it's slid in and out of the sheath. So what we have is we have the sheath with the belt loop, and we have the welt that's gonna lay inside of it. And your pattern's made. It's ready to go to leather now and cut it out of leather. The next step is to take this pattern, get a piece of skirting leather, and cut it out. There you have it, step by step on how I make a pattern for my knife sheaths. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see a part 2 to this video on how I turn this pattern into a leather sheath.